this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stand as we honor our country and those who serve it with the presentation of colors and the performance of our national anthem. Please remove your hats. Active and retired military personnel may keep their hats on and render a salute. The colors are presented this evening by VFW Post 1165 and American Legion Post 25. They are represented this evening by Rob Hansen, Jake Campbell, Daryl Spencer, and Larry Stevics. After the anthem, we request all field personnel to remain off the field until the colors have been retired fully from the playing surface. And now the national anthem will be performed tonight by the Tiger Pride Band under the direction of Mr. Justin Robinson and drum major Bradley Hicks.
Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. I am Tony Abate back here at Prairie Field as we are just about set to get things underway tonight in week 2 of the postseason as the Fort Scott Tigers take on the Tonganoxie Chieftains here this evening. Both of these teams, of course, won in the first round last week. The Tigers defeated Coffeyville 49-9 here at Prairie Field. The Tonganoxie Chieftains defeated Schlegel out of Kansas City 63-6 last week. They had 49 of those 63 points by the end of the first quarter, and not to take anything away from Tonganoxie, but it was a perfect night for the Chieftains last week. They had several short fields to take advantage of. They also had three possessions in a row, meaning that they scored a touchdown, kicked off. Schlegel didn't cover the kick, so Tonganoxie got it with a short field, scored another touchdown, kicked off again. Schlegel again didn't recover the kick, and so Tonganoxie again got another short field and took advantage of it. The thing about Tonganoxie is they took advantage of their opportunities, but they had a lot of opportunities last week against Schlegel, so Fort Scott will be looking to not give them as many opportunities here in this game, but it'll be, we anticipate a tough game, a good game, and hopefully Fort Scott can come out with the victory at the end of things here tonight and move on to the quarterfinals next week. Tongi is a school that went to the semifinals of the state 4A playoffs last year, lost to eventual champion St. Thomas Aquinas, who, of course, the Fort Scott Tigers lost to in the first round last year. Of course, Aquinas is back up to 5A this year, and so the Tigers and the Chieftains don't have to worry about Aquinas this season in the 4A playoffs. So looking forward to this here tonight as the Tigers get ready to take on Tonganoxie. But again, these two teams looking for a win and continuing on in the 4A playoffs. A big upset last night in the 4A West bracket. There were 3 games actually in 4A West that were contested last night, and the big upset saw Wellington defeat Cape and Mount Carmel out of Wichita. So when they realigned everything for this year, 4A got their dose of private schools once again, but they only got 2 of them. One, Bishop Miege in the East, and the other one was Cape and Mount Carmel, who dropped from 5A to 4A and is in the West. Well, Cape and Mount Carmel was taken care of by Wellington last night. The final score was 20-19, and so Cape is out. And now we'll see if Labette County can knock out Miege tonight. They get the draw to play them this evening. Miege defeated Lewisburg last week 21-14 in Lewisburg. So we're looking forward to that and wish our friends down at Labette County good luck as they are hosting Miege tonight. That is the 15 seed at the 10 seed. The Grizzlies, who were 4-4 in the regular season, just crushed Sumner Academy last week up in Kansas City 55-22. So a big win there for them. I think I've got the East brackets here. Let me see if I can get those adjusted. We are preparing for the possibility of rain tonight, so all the equipment is in a different spot than it usually is for us. So there's the top part of the East bracket. As you see, Atchison just ran all over Bonner Springs last week, 62-12. Lansing got the best of Eudora. Both of those teams were 4-4, but Lansing with the win at home, 37-19, the final score there. And then, of course, Fort Scott with their win, 49-9 over Coffeyville, and Tonganoxie 63-6 over Schlegel. See if I can get to the bottom part here. And you'll see a couple of SEK League teams still in the tournament on the bottom part of the bracket as well. Again, as we mentioned, Bishop Miege, I think they had a lead early in that game, 14-0, held on and defeated Lewisburg, who a lot of people thought coming into the playoffs, especially with Atchison's schedule and the teams that they play, not as difficult as the Frontier League this year. A lot of folks thought Lewisburg was the best team in the East, and a lot of information to back that up, but they get the loss on last Friday, 21-14 to Bishop Miege. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Labette County 55-22 over Sumner Academy. So they are playing in Altamont tonight. Looks a little strange, 15 seed and a 10 seed playing in the second round, but that's the way it goes. And so they're playing in Altamont tonight. Chanute got the better of Paola 44-14, and then Ottawa took care of Piper 31-7. So Chanute and Ottawa are playing in Chanute tonight. So we'll see how things go there. And then, as I mentioned, 3 games in the West happened last night. So Buhler defeated Mulvane. There were a lot of really good records in the West this year as well. Both of those teams, that was a 4-5 matchup, but both of those teams were 7-2 going into that game last night. Buhler with the win, 62-21. Andover Central got past Winfield, 35-7, one of the best seasons in recent memory for the Winfield Vikings. But Andover Central knocked them out 35-7, the final score there. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Wellington over Cape and Mount Carmel 20-19. And then tonight, Wamego, the top seed in the West, will host McPherson, who has struggled this season. But McPherson, as you might remember from the basketball state tournament last year, they have been a very good athletic department for a long time in just about every sport. So I anticipate a pretty good game there tonight between Wamego and McPherson in Wamego. After Wamego knocked out Independence last week 42-14. So that's your other SEK League team. Pittsburgh is in action tonight as well. They are at Aquinas tonight up in Kansas City. So we wish the Purple Dragons the best of luck. So it's Pittsburgh, Chanute, Labette, and Fort Scott, the 4 SEK League schools. And, of course, Pittsburgh is not an SEK League school in football, but they, of course, still represent the league in a lot of things, and so we keep a track of them, but they are the 4 SEK League schools still in it here tonight in their respective classes.
And another linebacker, number 41, Ryder Newton. And linebacker, number 44, J.C. Gross. Defensive lineman, number 52, Wesley Cox. Defensive line, number 63, Eli Martin. Defensive line, number 73, Luke Harris. And a defensive line, number 78, Jaden Garcia. And now, Tiger fans, welcome to the field, the rest of the Fort Scott Tigers. The Tigers are coached by assistant coaches Matt Glaze, Adam Clements, Josh Messer, Alvin Metcalf Jr., Brennan Seaback, Nick Barrows, and the head coach of the Tigers, Bo Graham. Tiger captains tonight, number 6, Lennox Van, number 16, Colton Rogers, number 73, Luke Harris, and number 78, Jaden Garcia. For the Chieftains, number 5, Todd Brown, number 6, Kendall Smith, number 22, Tanner Hand, and number 79, Zach Fisher. We would like to direct your attention to the middle of the field for tonight's coin toss. Joining in the coin toss are tonight's honorary captains. They are Sophia Merriman, a 5th grader from Mr. Palmier's class at Eugene Ware, daughter of Stephen and Virginia Merriman, and Bill Hogan, 5th grader, also from Mr. Palmier's class, and the son of Sean and Jessica Hogan. Both of these students are being recognized for outstanding behavior and leadership within their school. Give a hand to tonight's honorary Tiger captains, Sophia Merriman and Bill Hogan.
So it looks like Tonganoxie has won the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half, which will give Fort Scott the football to start the game for the 10th game this season. That's right. Fort Scott has started with the football in all 10 of their games this year. They do have a pretty good record when they score first. Not as great of a record when they don't score first. But we'll see what happens here tonight as they will take on Tonganoxie. In fact, Tigers scored first in their first 3 games, won all of those games. The next 3 games, Pittsburgh, Labette, and Chanute, did not score first, and so they lost all of those games. They did also not score first against Circle and Coffeyville in the regular season, but they still won those games. So 3-game winning streak here for the Tigers, and we'll see the offense come out here in just a minute and get things going Cody Lobb is the kicker for Tonganoxie. He is a freshman, but he has got a really good leg. He has made several field goals this season, and we learned watching the Tonganoxie broadcast of last week's game that he has not missed an extra point yet this season. And so we anticipate, even though he's a freshman, he's got a pretty good kicking leg, and we'll see how deep he can get it here. The wind looks like it's going, it's coming across the field from the east to the west. So I don't think either team will have an advantage, at least at the moment, with wind. There is a decent breeze, and there is a pretty good chance of rain here tonight. So we've got some equipment in different places, hoping it doesn't rain too hard here as we are outside just to the north of the press box, but as our usual spot here at Prairie Field, and we've seen a lot of victories from this spot here this season. We hope to see at least one more tonight for the Tigers. Tongie's kicker waiting. And a little pooch kick to the near side. And it's bobbled there by Fort Scott. And who got on top of it? It's going to be Fort Scott football.
Tigers recover.
As they will have it. Couldn't quite tell who got on top of it. Looks like Paxton Allen did. So great job there by Paxton to get on top of that one. And the Tigers will start with the football at their own 32. 3 seconds did run off the clock there, so 11:57 left to go. Lennox Fan, the starting quarterback once again for the Tigers tonight. And he's got Brody Gomez back with him, and here's a handoff up the middle. Not much there on the first play of the game for the Tigers.
Number 16, Colton Rogers on the
Colton
carry.
Rogers with the carry there. Last week, Colton did get the start at the tailback or the fullback position.
2nd down and 8 for the Tigers.
But again, Ryder Newton with a big game. Brody Gomez, 182 yards rushing last week on 12 carries for the Tigers. His longest was that 62-yard touchdown run he had, but an average of 15.17 yards per carry last week. And we'll see what he can do here this week against Tonganoxie as the Chieftains make a quick stop again. This time Lennox with the run, and he will get it a couple more yards down the field. So 3rd down and 5 coming up.
By number 20, Blake Riedel. Gain of 3. Third down and 4 for the Tigers.
So 3rd down, we'll call it 4 here for the Tigers. Lennox back under center. Brody goes in motion. They'll pitch it to Brody to the outside, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. So a tough first possession here for Fort Scott as Tongi will stop them, and it looks like they will force a punt.
Gomez on the carry. Tackle made by
and of course Lennox, the kicker and the punter for the Tigers. So far this season on punts, an average of 37, just over 37.5 yards per punt. He has down 3 of them inside the 20. We'll see what he can do here. And again, the wind is going across the field, so it's not at his back, but it's also not in his face. So we'll see what he can do here. High snap. Lennox gets it down, gets it right through the defense. A couple of defenders there, and this one will get rolled inside the 20, so another great punt for Lennox Van and the Tigers, as this will go all the way down to the 12-yard line. So Tonganoxie will start with possession there, 9:47 to go here in the first quarter. And the Fort Scott Tigers go 3 and out on offense, but they pin Tongi back deep, and that's something that Schlegel really didn't achieve last week against these Chieftains. Now again, Tongi is a very good team. Preston Troyer, their head coach, he is second-generation head coach for them. Took over for, I'm assuming, his father just a few seasons ago. This is his 3rd season as head coach of Tonganoxie, and they made it to the semifinals last year. He's 19-11. There's a nice play in the stop in the backfield by the Tigers. They threw it out to the near side, complete to Todd Brown. And he's going to lose a couple yards actually on the play.
Tackle made by number 6, Lennox Van. 2nd down and 12.
Lennox with the tackle. Talon Langford is the quarterback for Tonganoxie, and he has got about 1,500 yards of all-purpose yards this season between throwing and passing. Here's a run up the middle by the tailback Tanner Hand. He's broken a couple of tackles, gets deep into Tiger territory, or Tiger secondary rather, and he's going to get it a huge gain there out across the 40 up to about the 42, maybe the 43.
Number 22, Tanner Hand on the carry.
So tough luck there for the Tigers. Tanner Hand pretty slippery. We saw that in their games over the last couple of weeks. We'll see what the Tigers can do to try to get that stopped. Here's another handoff to Hand. He's going to get hit. Actually, this is their backup, Brady Martin, and he gets taken down. So Hand getting a breather here as Martin gets a couple of yards, but that's it. Yeah, maybe just one. So second down and 9 coming up here.
Ryder Newton. Second down and 9.
Ryder Newton on the stop there for the Tigers. Tonganoxie in all white tonight. Fort Scott. There's a pass to the far side. It's incomplete. A little bit too high that time for Todd Brown. So third down and 9 coming up for the Chieftains. But again, Talon Langford going into last week's game had about 930 yards passing, or 930 yards passing on the season for Tonganoxie. About 400 yards rushing on the year for Tonganoxie. So he's had a pretty good season for the Chieftains. Here's a roll to his left. He's got some pressure. He'll throw it. Oh, a nice pass down the seam. It is caught, and it'll be a touchdown as they got Todd Brown behind the defense. And the speed of Tonganoxie works out for a quick touchdown there with 8:40 left to go in the first quarter. And again, Cody Lobb coming in to attempt the extra point. We learned last week he has not missed an extra point all season for the Chieftains. Snap to the side, and it worked. The announcer jinx worked. I didn't really mean for that to happen, but he misses the extra point here, so it'll stay at 6-0 in favor of Tonganoxie with 8:40 left to go. I don't know that I've ever had the announcer jinx work quite that perfectly before, so we'll see if Fort Scott can take advantage of it now, though, as they will get a chance to get the ball back, score, and take the lead with their extra point if they can get that done here on this next possession. Brody Gomez, though, I wanted to highlight him again. He has just been a force to be reckoned with for the Tigers since going into the starting running back role for Fort Scott. He had his best game last week, and that was 182 yards on 12 carries. He has rushed for over 100 yards in every game he has started at that tailback position, which coincides with this 3-game winning streak for the Tigers. Circle Coffeyville 2 weeks ago in the regular season in Coffeyville, and of course the Golden Tornado again last week in the first round of the playoffs. So we'll see if they can get Brody going. Here's another pooch kick to the near side, and Fort Scott's going to take the fair catch. And that's something that you see on film that Schlegel was not good at last week. Mentioned before, there were 2 kickoffs in a row that Schlegel did not cover, and that gave Tonganoxie amazing field position in that first half last week. So 8:39 to play in the first quarter, and the Tigers will take over on their own 35-yard line here. Here's a run by Ryder Newton right up the middle. That'll be the Tigers' first down tonight as he gets it all the way out near midfield. It'll be down at the 48-yard line, but a big run by Ryder Newton.
By number 57 for the Chieftains, Kale Dye. That's enough for a Tigers first down.
We'll see what Fort Scott has here with 3 receivers in the formation. And they'll run it with Lennox He got through a couple of guys, but couldn't get through the last of them there. It's a nice gain, though. A gain of about 6 on the play for Lennox. So Van will bring up a second down and 4 for the Tigers. Lennox last week had his smallest game of the season as far as rushing attempts. He had only 5 rushing attempts last week. Did get 73 yards, though, and had a 45-yard touchdown run. Fort Scott did kind of spread things out, especially late in that game. Here's a handoff going to Newton again, and he's going to be close to a first down. I don't think he got there, but he's going to be really close to it. 3rd down and short coming up for the Tigers. And that has been just amazing to me that the Tigers have made this shift because of injury, in large part to Brody Gomez and Ryder Newton in the backfield, and they have been the perfect thunder and lightning tandem for the Tigers, and they do give Ryder the first down there. So Ryder did get the first down. Ball's on the 42-yard line of the Chieftains. 1st and 10, Fort Scott. Ryder the only one in the backfield, more of a traditional formation here for the Tigers. And Lennox will fake the handoff and run right up the middle and gets 3, maybe 4 on that one. So another nice game for the Tigers here. And again, we're seeing their offensive line be much better than Schlegel's line was last week against Tonganoxie. So that's a good thing to see for the Tigers. As again, those big hog mollies up there. Wes Cox, Luke Harris, Blake Tomasi, Jaden Garcia, Adam Wright, left to right, across, or right to left, maybe across, whichever way you're looking at it, I guess. Across that front line for the Tigers. They have been great all year long. Fort Scott as a team, 2,393 yards rushing, so over 3,000 rushing, or 2,400 rushing yards now for the Tigers. As Ryder Newton gets to the line of scrimmage and gets stopped there.
3rd down and 6 for the Tigers.
So 2,400 yards rushing as a team means 2 things. First of all, you've got good runners, but also you've got great linemen that make sure to open those holes for a team. So that's been the case here this season for the Tigers. 3rd down and 6, though. They're going to have to open some big ones, big holes here on this play. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Back to pass. And Lennox will fake the pass, run right up the middle, and get the first down. Great job by Lennox. He'll get to the 30, he needed the 32. So he gets it. Actually, they put it down to 29, so he got it by 3 yards. So 1st and 10, Fort Scott, as we dip under 5.5 to play here in the first quarter.
That's enough for another Tigers first down.
Now more of a split back formation here for the Tigers. They'll hand it off to Brody. He, nearly got through the hole. He gets stood up there, but gets about 4 yards on the carry. So another good run for Brody Gomez.
Carried by number 4, Brody Gomez. Bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Tigers.
Second down and 6 for Fort Scott. One wide receiver, split out. It's Trace Metcalf. They'll send him in motion coming to the left. And Lennox will keep the ball and dive forward for a yard. Maybe 2 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd and about 5 coming up for the Tigers here.
Yeah, 3rd down and 5.
So 3rd down and 5. Lennox, he'll hand it off. This time it goes to Morgan Shaw, and he's got a hole off the left side, and he will get the first down. So a great change of pace there for the Tigers.
Pushed out of bounds by number 12, Brady Martin. That's enough for another Tigers first down. First and 10 for the Tigers at the 15-yard line.
So ball on the 15-yard line. Lennox keeps the ball himself. He'll run right up the middle, gets hit after a gain of 2 or 3, so it'll bring up second down and about 7 for the Tigers.
22, Tanner Hand. Second down and 8 for the Tigers.
So we got 3 minutes and about 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Tigers trail at 6-0. But a nice drive here going by for Fort Scott. Trying to get the Chieftains to jump. They didn't do that, but into the end zone goes Ryder Newton. Touchdown, Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Ryder Newton. 2:56 to play in the first quarter, and the Tigers have tied this game at 6. Fort Scott looking to go for 2 here. Again, in the extra point kick scenario for the Tigers. Lennox is the kicker. Oh, now we got guys trying to get guys sorted out here. Got a different formation for the Tigers on this particular play. And Lennox will go back to pass. He'll roll to his right. He had a man for a moment. Now throws it back across the middle, and he's got him! Touchdown! Fort Scott, it's 2 points actually, just the 2-point conversion, but what a play for Fort Scott. Colton Rogers on the backside to catch that. It looked like they were trying to get Colton out in the flat and run a little quick pass to him out there, but it was covered up fairly quickly, so Lennox rolled to his right, bought some time, and Colton went back towards the middle of the end zone, caught it right around the C in Fort Scott in the end zone. So Fort Scott takes an 8-6 lead now with 2:56 to play here in the first quarter. Well, it has begun to sprinkle just a little bit. Hopefully the rain doesn't get much harder here as we go tonight, but we've been pretty lucky these 2 years, weather-wise.
Back to receive for the Chieftains. Number 5.
Not having the benefit of being in a press box for most of these 2 years of Duckbait TV for football. Here's kind of a little low line drive, and that was his knee was down, I thought, yeah. So it was taken there by Alex Gardia, and he went down to a knee to make the catch. So he's down where his knee went down, which was right around the 33-yard line. So that's where Tongi will take over. 2:55 to play in the first quarter. Again, the Tigers lead at 8-6. Fake handoff here for Talon Langford, and he's going to get near the first down on the carry. He may actually have the first down. So a good gain. It's the first time we've seen Langford run the ball tonight. They give him 9 yards on the play, so second down and 1 coming up for the Chieftains. And they like to go fast. We saw that in their games over the last couple of weeks. We watched their game last week against Schlegel. We watched their game 2 weeks ago. And here's the ball bobbled on the snap. It's down. Langford did recover it, but it's a loss on the play. So it'll bring up third down and about 4. And the clock will be under 2 minutes by the time we snap it the next time here. And this time Langford going to keep it himself, and he will get the first down. And gets taken down. The ball came out, but I think it came out after he was down. And I think that's what the officials are saying. Now, we watched the game back from last week for the Tigers. Colton Rogers was credited with a fumble early in that game. I think that was the first possession of the game for the Tigers. And we watched it back, and he was definitely clearly down before the ball popped out. The ground caused the fumble, but it was not called that way, unfortunately. And fortunately for the Tigers, it didn't really make a difference in the final score, but just one of those things to look at. The ground caused the fumble there. They get it right. Toggy keeps the ball. Here's the throw to the near side. It's caught there by Brown, who's got the long touchdown run, and he may have another one here. He gets into the secondary, and he will score again for Tonganoxie. And like I said, they run fast and they score quick, and it is now 12-8 in favor of the Chieftains with 1:12 to go here in the first quarter. And are they going to go for two? I don't know how many times they've gone for two this year. Again, they've had a phenomenal kicker, the freshman Cody Law, but it looks like they will set up to go for two here. Ball on the left hash. Back to pass. They'll throw it to the near side, and it's incomplete. So they missed the two-point conversion there. It remains 12-8 in favor of Tonganoxie. With 1:12 to play in the first quarter. Looks like Brody Gomez back deep to receive this kick. He's flanked on either side by, looks like Morgan's over on the far side. Maddox Robinson appears as on the near side. And we'll see what Lobb does here in this one, as he's pooched each of their kickoffs to this point. And we'll see if he does that again here. And he will. And another fair catch for the Tigers right around the 35-yard line. So that's where they will start with 1:12 to play here in the first quarter. It looks like right after the kick that ball might go out of bounds, but you never know when it hits the ground, as Lobb has done a pretty good job of making sure the ball doesn't go out of bounds on the fly. A smart play there by Trace Metcalf to fair catch that. And the Tigers will start on their own 35-yard line. Lennox keeps it. And still going here. Now they blow the whistle. He's going to get 3, maybe 4 on the play. We'll see where they put it down, but, well, 5 it looks like. So second down and 5 coming up for the Tigers. Fort Scott trying to make it to the third round of the playoffs for the first time. I think for the first time in the Bo Graham era. Pitch to the near side. Brody's got it, and he will get the first down. Got tripped up there, but he gets forward enough for the first down right near the 50. I think they'll put it down at the 48.
It's up to Tigers, first down.
So 23-second, he must have gotten out of bounds. The clock is stopped here with the ball on the 48-yard line. Nope, now it's going. Took him a while to get the chain set over on the far side, I guess. Here's a, well, Fort Scott will have to snap it one more time as there's not enough time on the play clock. Here's the handoff, goes to Brody off the right side. He gets through a couple of tacklers, gets a nice gain. It'll be about 5 yards on the play, but a good gain there for Brody, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. So your score at the end of one, Fort Scott 8 and Tonganoxie 12. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Tiger Football on Duckbait TV. Patty West and Crystal Cowan are a mother-daughter duo selling personal and commercial insurance. If you need home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, business, or commercial insurance, they've got you covered. Visit them at 3 East Wall Street in downtown Fort Scott or call 620-223-0700. So the Tigers will have second down. We'll call it 6 here. Right across the 50-yard line. Back to pass. Lennox steps up in the pocket, throws it down the middle of the field. He's got a man. Oh, it just right through the hands of Maddox Robinson, incomplete.
Pass by Van, ball's incomplete.
A great play call and a nearly great execution on it.
Number 5, Todd Brown for the Chieftains on the coverage.
So it'll be third down and 6 now for the Tigers. Ty Marbury split wide to the right. And now they hand it off to Brody Gomez. He'll bust right through there. He gets the first down and gets it inside the 40-yard line. So another good gain for Brody Gomez. And it'll be first and 10 for the Tigers.
Tackle made by number 22, Tanner Hand. It's enough for another Tigers first down.
So 11:40 to play. Again, just underway in the second quarter. And the Tigers with another drive here. Trailing by 4. Missed extra point on the opening touchdown by Tonganoxie. And then they went for 2 on their second touchdown and missed that as well. Fort Scott scored their touchdown and went for 2 and got it. So that's why we're at 12-8 here. This one is kept by Lennox. A gain of a couple on the play. It'll be second down and long for the Tigers. Ball just shy of the 35. Still sprinkling here at Ferry Field. So far, so good on the amount of rain. Not a lot here so far. Hopefully it continues to be that way. Handoff, and couldn't tell if that was Ryder or Colton, but either way, I think it was Colton. A gain of maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up third down and about 7 coming up for the Tigers.
Ball carried by number 16, Colton Rogers. Brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Tigers.
Back to pass. Lennox now rolling to his right. He's got some room out here. He'll take off, gets down to the 30. He'll be short of the first down by only a yard or 2, but there is a flag down. And it looks like holding going to be the call on the Tigers.
Tackled by number 57, Cale Dye. Flag on the play.
So now it'll be either 4th and about a yard and a half if the Chieftains decline it, or it'll be 3rd down And it looks like they're going to take the penalty. So 3rd down and long here for Fort Scott coming up.
Holding against the Tigers. 10-yard
9:50 to go in the second quarter. Neither defense has stopped the offense to this point.
17.
Fort Scott scored on its only drive to this point. And the Chieftains have scored on both of their drives. Big pass plays to Todd Brown for both of their scores. Here's a roll to the right for Lennox. He'll throw it down the field, and it is going to be incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down and about 17 for the Tigers.
We've got the 4th and 17 for the Tigers.
Actually, I need to correct myself. Fort Scott had it first and punted on their first drive as well. So they've had it twice. This is their 3rd possession, and they will punt it away for the 2nd time tonight. Looks like Owen Schmidt is going back to receive for the Chieftains. High snap. Lennox gets it down. Nice kick. Nice hang time on it. Get down there, cover it, guys. Bounces at about the 12 and goes right sideways, and then takes another Fort Scott bounce. It's down to about the 6-yard line. So Fort Scott with a couple of really good punts here from Lennox. And now we'll see what they can do on defense here as they've pinned Tonganoxie back. It didn't make that big of a difference on Tongie's first possession as they were driven back inside their own 20. And hit Todd Brown on a big pass play down the middle of the field. Their 2nd possession, they hit Brown on basically a screen play to the near side. He broke through a couple of tackles and went on for the score on that possession as well. Here's the handoff, and this one goes to Tanner Hand, and he will get a decent amount.
Number 22, Tanner Hand on the carry.
On the yardage, and he will get, about 7 yards on the play. 2nd down and 3 coming up now for Tonganoxie. We dip under 9 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
2nd down and 4 for the Chieftains.
Quarterback Langford will keep it, and he may not have gotten the 1st down. He only got a yard or 2, I think.
Number 4, Callan Langford.
And Langford, we didn't see him run it a whole lot last week against Schlegel. Didn't have to.
Newton and number 44, J.C. Gross.
And he does have a brace on his knee, so you wonder how often. Of course, he did have about 500 yards rushing coming into this one here tonight on the season. So obviously he's running a decent amount. And with the weather, they may try to run it even more than they usually do. Let's see, did he get the 1st down? I think he did. And that was Hand again on the carry. They've had some injuries in recent weeks on the offensive line, so they've had to kind of shift some guys around on that front line for the Chieftains.
17-yard line.
But it didn't make a big difference last week against the Schlegel Stallions. Back to pass, throw near side. It's caught, hit right away, and taken down.
Pass from Langford to number 5, Todd Brown. Number 16, Colton Rogers.
A loss on the play, back to the 15.
2nd down and 12 for the Chieftains.
Fake the handoff throw is caught. Far side. And that looked like it was Alex Gardia that time on a slant, and that's enough for another Tongi first down.
Number 5, Morgan Shaw on the tackle. 1st down and 10 for the Chieftains.
Tonganoxie now has 1st down and 10 coming up. Here's a handoff to Hand, and he will get taken. Oh, I thought his knee was down. They're going to give him a couple more yards as they didn't blow it dead as soon as I thought they maybe should have there. But anyway, he did get pulled down eventually, 39-yard line, enough for another Chieftain first down. So 1st and 10, Tonganoxie. Hand off to Hand. He's got a nice hole up the middle and gets out across the 45, maybe the 46.
Number 22, Tanner Hand on the carry. Tackle made by number 4, Brody Gomez. Second and 4, 2nd and 3 for the Chieftains.
So 2nd down, we'll call it 2nd and 3 for Tonganoxie. Here's a handoff to Brady Martin, and he will get right up to about the 50. We'll see where they put it down, but I think it's going to be enough for another Tongi first down.
Martin. Tackle made by several Tigers. 1st and 10, Chieftains. The Tigers' 49-yard line. Tackle made by number 52, Wesley Cox.
So Brady Martin with the carry that last time. His Hand getting a little bit of a breather. Here's a pass to the far side. It's incomplete. Some pressure there from the Tiger defense. Does that look like Blake Tomasi on the pressure there, forcing Langford to throw that a little bit earlier than he wanted to, I believe. So 2nd down and 10, 4:52 to play. The clock stops with the incomplete pass. That's another thing we saw Tonganoxie do in their last couple of games. They don't huddle very much. They get right back to the line and right back after it. Here's a handoff again to Martin, and he gets taken down. A gain of about 3 on the play. It's 3rd down and 7. And again, we haven't seen the Chieftains have to punt yet. We'll see if Fort Scott can force them to do that here on this 3rd down play.
Tigers' 46-yard line.
Fake the handoff, throw a far side, and it's complete. That is Elijah Holthouse, and he's going to have another Chieftain first down there.
Elijah Holthouse.
Wide receiver. He lines up kind of as a tight end or a slot receiver most of the time. And he gets it down to the Fort Scott 32-yard line. Kind of a methodical drive here on this possession for the Chieftains. Fakes a hand, a ball loose on the ground, and let's see who got it. And the Tigers do have it. So the Tigers get a turnover, and we'll see what happens now as Fort Scott will take over on the 35-yard line with 3:59 to go here in the 2nd quarter. The Tigers were able to turn a couple of turnovers from Coffeyville last week into scores. And we'll see what Fort Scott can do here towards the late middle of this 2nd quarter. Fake the handoff. Lennox throws it deep down the field. He's got Ty. Oh, and nearly an amazing one-handed catch from Marbury, but it drops out as he hits the ground, and it'll be incomplete. A couple of really good passes for Lennox in this game that just weren't brought in, and you wonder if the weather maybe has something to do with that. Tough luck there. Great effort by Ty Marbury. Just couldn't, and he had it. I think if he doesn't hit the ground there, he makes the catch. So tough luck there for the Tigers. 2nd down and 10. They had a couple of turnovers. Well, one was a block kick that they recovered. last week. Another was a turnover that they had one-play touchdown drives last week against Coffeyville. It almost had another one there. Here's a pitch to Brody, near side. He gets through with a one and gets down the field. Kind of landed awkwardly, but he's getting up. He looks like he's okay. Enough for a first down again for the Tigers. And I am just so unbelievably impressed with Brody Gomez this season. He has been a starter on defense for the last 2 or 3 years now for the Tigers. And they've had other guys to plug in on the offensive side, but those guys have gotten hurt this season. And so Brody has gotten in there in the running back position for the Tigers. He has been starting since they started this 3-game winning streak against Circle on senior night. And he's had over 100 yards rushing in every game. In fact, over 180 yards rushing last week against Coffeyville in the first round of the playoffs. Lennox might have been a broken play there. Took off and tried to get what he could get, but only got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Tigers, it's the first time they've won a playoff game since 2020. Lennox's older brother, Malachi, was the quarterback of the Tigers then, and just like this year, they had a really strong senior class in 2020. Pitch forward. This will be a pass to Brody, and he will get it down the field, and he picks up about 9. It's not quite enough for the first down, but that's that play. We've seen a lot of teams run it against the Tigers this year. I think that's the first time we've seen the Tigers actually pull it out of there. Lennox went back, rolled to his right, and then Brody cut in front of him and pitched it forward. Again, that stat purposes would be a completed pass for the Tigers because the ball went forward. Now Fort Scott, 3rd down and 1, and I think Lennox has the first down. He needed the 42, and I think they're going to give him the 41, maybe even the 40. So 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. 2:18 to play. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining still, so plenty of time here for the Tigers. Does look like the next play will be snapped with under 2 minutes to play in the first half, though. And remember, Tonganoxie will start the second half with the ball. They chose to do that. Fort Scott has started, whether by their choice or the other team's choice, have opened the game with the ball in every game this season. Kind of remarkable that that's been the case. So Tonga will get it to start the 3rd quarter. Here's a roll by Lennox. Gets away from one guy. He'll throw it deep down the field, and this one will go out of bounds, incomplete. That one may have just been thrown away to live for the next down.
Number 3, Trace Metcalf.
Trace Metcalf was down there in the area.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
So 1:41 to play in the first half. So again, Fort Scott really wants to score here for several reasons, but one of the top reasons, of course, Tonga gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. And the only time Fort Scott has stopped the Chieftains was the fumble just a few plays ago. Handoff goes to Ryder. He right up the middle. He will get the first down and a whole lot more. Down to the 20-yard line. What a run by Ryder Newton. And he's been just about as impressive as Brody Gomez. Again, another guy that's been a backup on the offensive side. Started the year as a defensive player for Fort Scott. And they've kind of swapped the roles between him and Colton Rogers. Colton gets the starts most of the time at that fullback position over the last 3 weeks. But Ryder has come in and played quite a bit at that position for the Tigers here over the last this 3-game winning streak. Here's a pitch to Brody again to the right side. He will get through one guy, and he will get into the end zone again. Touchdown, Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Brody Gomez with 1:05 to play. So Fort Scott, with 65 seconds to spare, gets their 2nd touchdown of the game. They now lead at 14-12, and I would imagine they'll go for 2 again here. Again, they've had some struggles on the season. Lennox 3 for 11. That includes last week's struggles on the kicks. So just 27% made extra points. But they've done much better on the 2-point conversions this season. Coming into tonight, 19 for 25 on the 2-point tries, so just over 76, or right at 76% on the two-point tries. Here's a roll to the right. Throw is deflected. Oh, and nearly caught by Aiden Ogran. So it goes incomplete. It was deflected right at the last second by one of the linebackers for Tonganoxie, so it goes incomplete. It's now stays at 14-12 in favor of the Tigers with 1:05 to play in the first half.
That Tigers touchdown gives the Tigers the lead, 14-12 over the Chieftains.
Wondered if we might have fireworks with rain tonight, and we do. So, huge shout out to the Pitlawani folks, as they believe they're the ones doing the fireworks again this year. We would hope, and we've had a couple of opportunities for it this year, but, you know, there were a couple years ago when the Chiefs' offense was amazing. The Chiefs do that. A lot of teams do the fireworks after touchdown. But the Chiefs, I know, have had a few times. I was at one of the games where they had to put the message up on the video board, "We've run out of fireworks. We've scored so many times tonight, we've run out of fireworks." We'll hope that might happen for the Tigers, but we like the close games too here. 14-12, and now Jacob Adams on to kick this one off for Fort Scott. It's a little bit of a worm burner here. And it's loose! And I think Fort Scott got it! Let's see. Tongi, of course, says they've got it. Let's see what the officials say. Oh, and they are going to give it to Tonganoxie. So tough luck there for the Tigers.
Ball recovered by
so Tongi does recover it. And we learned last week watching their game, Tonganoxie Sports Live does a phenomenal job. They're one of those Sports Live folks like Paola, like Gerard, a lot of those folks around now in this area now. They do a phenomenal job of covering their team. And we learned last week after watching their game, they've had some struggles on the kickoff return and punt returns this year. So something Fort Scott trying to exploit there. But didn't quite work out. 1:02 to play, and again, Tongi can score quick. 62 seconds is not too much for them to be able to score. So Fort Scott's got to be buttoned up on defense here on this possession. Fake the handoff, throw far side, and it is low and incomplete. Intended over there for Alex Gardia. One thing I noticed last week, didn't notice it as much 2 weeks ago in their game against Ottawa, but I noticed it last week from Talon Langford, the quarterback. He likes to throw off his back foot, which can throw some accuracy issues into play sometimes. You wonder if that's happened on a couple of these plays here tonight, as he's thrown low a few times. Here's a run to the near side, and he's going to be taken down. He's got a good gain on the play, a gain of about 5, maybe even 6, and now Tongi's going to take their first time out with 47 seconds left.
Number 4, Brody Gomez, number 73, Luke Harris. Timeout, Tonganoxie.
So again, Tongi takes their first time out, and they've got all 3. Haven't had too many Tiger games where both teams have had all of their allotment of timeouts with 47 seconds to go in either half. But Fort Scott and Tongi both have their full allotment, so Tongi takes one here.
Again, proceeds from concessions tonight will go to help the junior class. Thank you for your support.
Ugh. So 3rd down and 4 now. Fake the handoff. They'll throw it over the middle again, and again it's incomplete. So now 4th down for the Chieftains, and there's still 44 seconds left in this first half. And it looks like they will bring their punting unit out. Their punter is Talon Langford, their quarterback. So just like the Tigers, their quarterback is their punter. Always throw that out there to watch the fake. I think it was Pittsburgh. game seems like it was years ago. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragon game. Low snap. But Langford able to get it away. Nobody back to receive for the Tigers. Takes a Tiger bounce and will roll to the 22 before being down there by the Chieftains. And now we'll see what the Tigers want to do, as they've got it on their own 22 with 3 timeouts and 36 seconds to play.
It'll be 1st and 10 Tigers.
I would anticipate Fort Scott to have a run here and kind of see what happens. If they break off a big run, maybe they'll call a timeout and try to get a score here. If they don't get a lot, they'll probably just let the clock run out and go to halftime with a lead, 14-12. Handoff goes to Ryder Newton. He's got a big hole up the middle. This may be a big play they were looking for. He's going to be out near the 50, and the Tigers, I believe, will call a timeout.
Nice carry by number 41, Ryder Newton. Tackle made by number 5, Todd Brown.
So a big run right up the middle for Ryder Newton. And the Tigers do call their first timeout with 30 seconds to go, and we'll see what they call here as the ball is way out to the 48-yard line now. Again, it would be great if the Tigers could get another score here before halftime. Just mainly for the simple fact that Tonka gets the ball to start the second half. So you'd like to have a little bit of cushion if you can. So again, Fort Scott, 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. Taking their first time out of the game. And we'll see what they run here. They've had a couple of pass plays that were set up really well, that were ran perfectly. They just missed on the completion. So you think that maybe that's a possibility if they could get somebody deep with 30 seconds left. But also, they could just turn around, hand it to Ryder Newton, and see what he could get up the middle, see if he could bust another one up the middle. And that's what they do here. And it doesn't work out quite as well as the previous play did. And the Tigers will take their second timeout now, 2nd down and 9.
Number 41, Ryder Newton.
Need a full mani-pedi before big weekend plans? Or maybe you want some special nail art to celebrate your favorite singer's football-playing boyfriend? Either way, Delin Abatey is ready to help. Nails by Delin is on all the socials, and you can call or text at 620-704-1315. Nails by Delin at Spoiled Brat on 3rd Street in downtown Fort Scott. So 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Tigers. We'll see what they run here with 24 seconds left on the clock. Rain coming down a little bit harder now. Back to pass, Lennox. He'll throw a little screen play over to the near side. It's caught by Shaw, and he'll get shoved out of bounds. So that'll stop the clock with 18 seconds left.
Morgan Shaw. Knocked out of bounds by number 5 for the Chieftains, Todd Brown. That's enough for another Tigers first down. First and 10 for the Tigers at the Chieftains' 37-yard line.
Fake handoff, throw, and that one's going to be incomplete. Some pressure there.
Incomplete pass
from the backside, Tucker McGuire.
Brings up a second down and 10.
With some pressure there for Tonganoxie. And now Lennox will run right up the middle. He's got some room and goes down. And Fort Scott does have one timeout left. They'll take it with 11 seconds left.
Carrier number 6, Lennox Van. Tackle made by number 12, Brady Martin. It's enough for another Tigers first down.
The Tigers will take their final timeout of the first half here with 11 seconds left.
Timeout Tigers.
So Fort Scott probably goes for the end zone here.
First down and 10 for the Tigers at the Chieftains' 27-yard line.
The rain's starting to pick up now. Pitch to the near side to Brody. He will throw one down the field. He's got a man down there. It is caught! It is caught! It is caught! Touchdown! Fort Scott Tigers!
Halfback pass from number 4, Brody Gomez.
What a play by the Tigers!
Chase Metcalf on the reception.
So Fort Scott with the score with 4 seconds left. A halfback pass from Brody Gomez to Trace Metcalf. And the Tigers jump out in front, and here is another score for the Tigers on the two-point conversion. 22-12. The Tigers with the lead here with 4 seconds to go in the first half. Fort Scott used that drive perfectly. They get the ball back with, about 30 seconds left. They ran one play up the middle to see what happened. They got a huge gain with Ryder Newton of about 25 or so yards. And then they went to work. Started calling timeouts, working it down the field, and then the play to finish it. And I tell you what, Brody Gomez has done just about everything for the Tigers in the last 3 weeks, and he gets a passing touchdown this week. Just saw his dad earlier. He's here at the game tonight, and it's so good to see that. But anyway, a big touchdown there for the Tigers. They lead at 22-12 here with 4 seconds to go, and you hope that is also the halftime score. So Lennox will kick off here. Low line drive kick. It'll be covered there by Tonganoxie. And now we'll see what they want to do. Again, they've got 2 timeouts remaining with 4 seconds left. I would be a little surprised if they didn't just go to a knee here, but you never know. And they will go to a knee. So Fort Scott will have the lead at halftime, 22-12 over the Tonganoxie Chieftains. What a first half for the Fort Scott Tigers as they lead this one by 10 after the first half of play. Stay tuned. We've got all your halftime entertainment coming up in just a few moments here on Duckbait TV. Sorry, guys.
I'll be skinny through here. Thank you. Okay, you give me your keys.
Oh, yeah.
What are you wearing that rain card for, bud? Yeah. What are you wearing that thing for, bud? Hey, hey, if you run out, if I run out to the truck and put my fire gear on, we'll be good. Huh? You gonna put you and your wife both in it? You both will fit in it. It stinks like fire.
He went to get his, but his is small, so we still need yours, if you're okay with that. I mean, this is okay for now.
give a big hand to the Tiger Pride Band under the direction of Justin Robinson and drum major Bradley Hicks. And now welcome to the field, the Fort Scott High School dance team. They will be headed to the Acacia State Game Day competition on November 22nd. These 12 dancers have put an amazing amount of time and effort into this endeavor and hope to represent Fort Scott well. Tonight's performance and choreography was a group effort and is a preview of what the dance team will be taking to the state competition. Tonight's state dance team members are freshmen Lorelei Clark, Gianna Gorman, Alana Johnson, sophomores Cody Casper, Lillian Jackson, Sydney Lane, Riley Marciano, juniors Josie Fisher, Briley Heimer, seniors Kendall Armstrong, Abby Eastwood, and Annabelle Gorman. Ladies, your music is on. Ladies, your music is on. How about one more round of applause for the Fort Scott Tiger dance team? Nice job, ladies.
All right. Well, we're just about ready to get the second half underway here tonight as the Tigers lead the Tonganoxie Chieftains here at the break. The rain has calmed down quite a bit. I say that like it was pouring. It wasn't really pouring, but kind of that annoying cold, wet rain that just gets everything wet, right? And there's not really a way to avoid it, but it's the way it is, and that's all right. We need the rain in southeast Kansas, so not going to complain too much. We got a ton back in the spring, and I don't think we got any, it seemed like, until this last couple of weeks. So as we're ready to start the second half here tonight, ground ball kick covered by Tonganoxie.
Number 2, Alex Sardia receiving that kick. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Chieftains.
Oh, thank you. I totally will. Thank you.
From the 34-yard line.
So to start the second half, Tonganoxie will start on their own 34-yard line. 1st down and 10. We got a whistle here, and flags come in, and we'll see who the flag is on.
Penalty flag.
False start is called on Tonganoxie. So again, the Tigers with an impressive end to that first half. They scored with just a few minutes left in the second quarter to go up 14-12, and then got the ball back with about right around a minute to go. Here's a throw, and he's going to go down. Actually, he threw it to his outlet, his running back, and he's going to get still in bounds down the sideline. He's going to get all the yardage he needed for a first down. He's going to be close. Actually gets out across the 45. So kind of a last-second situation there as Talon Langford found his outlet valve. Tanner Hand, the running back. And they get a decent gain there, a big gain there. It'll be 1st down and 10. But anyway, the Tigers may have actually been closer to about 40 seconds left. I can't really remember at the top of my head. But here's a pass to the far side. It's caught there. And another big run here for Todd Brown. And he's going to go into the end zone. So 2-3 plays. And Tonganoxie gets another touchdown here.
Touchdown, Chieftains.
And that's what we wanted to avoid at the end of the first half. And we're able to. But the Chieftains get another score here, and that'll make it 22-18. And just 40 seconds taken off the game clock on that possession. And it looks like they're going to bring their kicker back on to attempt another extra point. He missed the first one tonight after having not missed one all season. And this one, nearly blocked, but he does get it through there. And the kick is good. So 22-19, a 3-point Tiger lead with 11:20 to play in the third quarter. The winner of this game will advance to the next round and play the winner of the Atchison-Lansing game. And it doesn't matter who wins this one tonight. If they play Atchison, it'll be at Atchison. If they play Lansing, it'll be at home. So if you're the Tigers, hoping to hold on to this now 3-point lead. Increase it as much as you can, of course.
Number 4, Brody Gomez back to receive.
And then hope Lansing gets an upset.
From number 44, Cody Lobb for the Chieftains.
And another little pooch kick here. Fort Scott calling the fair catch, and they will take it right around the 35 again, maybe the 36 this time.
Number 3, Trace Metcalf. Ball will be spotted at the 36-yard line for 1st and 10. Tigers.
Fort Scott will take over. 11:19 to play here in the third quarter. Okay, thanks. All right, so 11:19 to play. And a run by Brody Gomez to the near side. He's actually going to be taken down for a loss on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and about 14 coming up. And Brody was the one that ended up ending the drive right before the first half with a halfback pass for a touchdown. Found Trace Metcalf in the end zone, and a very exciting end of the first half for the Tigers. A quick start to the second half for Tonganoxie, and Fort Scott still leads it by 3. Lennox bobbled the snap and gets taken down in the backfield. Now it's going to be 3rd and almost 25 for the Tigers.
By number 20, Blake Riedel.
So a tough start
3rd down and long.
to this second half for the Tigers. Tongi, I guess officially just 2 plays they scored. The first play there was a penalty, so the play didn't count. And now Fort Scott in danger of going 3 and out on their first possession of the second half here. Back to pass. Lennox, they'll throw a little screen play. It's low. I think it was caught, but it was low. And Trace Metcalf went down pretty much right after catching that. So not much on the gain there. It'll be 4th down and long, and now the Tigers have to punt it.
4th and long.
Tigers still in a great position here. High snap. Lennox takes it down. He'll try to run, and now he'll throw it down the middle of the field. Oh, nearly caught down there by the snapper. It's going to be incomplete, though, and now Tonganoxie is going to take over with very good field position. That ball nearly caught by Cannon Brown. Would have been a way to make up for the high snap, as that ball was up in the air for a very long time. Lennox not happy with himself right now, but it's not really on Lennox all that much. Got to get those snaps a little bit better, and Cannon has had a great year snapping. He's been the snapper all year. Just a little bit difficult here tonight a couple of times. Run by
number number 4, Talon Langford on the carry.
Quarterback Langford, I thought Langford caught it or kept it there, and he got hit by 3 or 4 Tigers before being brought down. A gain of only a yard. It'll bring second down and 9 coming up. Actually, they'll give him 2. So 2nd and 8, ball on the 21. It's another one of those situations where you look at one side judge and he's at 1 yard line and the other side judge is at a different yard line. So they go to the 21 with it. Man in motion. Langford takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Hand. We got a whistle and a flag, and things will stop.
Flag on the play.
Illegal procedure on Tonganoxie, so they'll get pushed back with a penalty.
5-yard penalty. Second and 13 for the Chieftains.
So the 5-yard penalty puts it back on the 26. Again, the Tigers in a great position here, even with that last possession. Fakes the handoff. Langford throws down the field, and it is deflected, incomplete.
Pass by Langford falls incomplete.
Bounced off the hands of his intended receiver. Looked like he was trying to get it to Todd Brown again.
Intended receiver number
And
5,
don't know if
Todd
the
Brown.
weather maybe affected that one a little bit. It looks like if you look at the lights, you can see some sprinkles coming down. We're not feeling a whole lot here at the top of the bleachers. So it might be one of those situations where the rain is falling, but it's not quite getting to the ground, so you don't know exactly how wet the field is right now. We haven't had it. Oh, and a screen play to the near side. They get it to Hand again. Got to get him on the ground, guys. And he gets pulled down from behind by Trace Metcalf, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Number 5, Todd
Excuse me, Brown. Todd Brown with the catch and carry again. He has been the man tonight for Tonganoxie.
First down and goal for the Chieftains.
He is the only one to score so far, other than the kicker, who has made one of his 2 extra point kicks tonight. They missed a 2-point conversion. Brown has 18 of the 19 Chieftain points, and it looks like somebody else is going to get in the end zone here. They're going to say he's short, though, so it'll be second down and goal.
Number 22, Tanner Hand.
As that was Tanner Hand with the carry.
Tackle made by number 52, Wesley Cox.
And handoff goes back to Hand. And a very delayed call, but they do say he's in now. So Tongi goes back out in front.
Ball carrier number 22, Tanner Hand.
25-22. Now I would assume that they would kick the extra point. As Cody Lobb is on his way out there. 7:17 to go in the third quarter. And Tongi with a couple of fairly quick scores here in this second half. The kick is up and good. And so it'll be 26-22 with 7:17 to play in the third quarter.
Tigers 22, Chieftains 26.
But again, Fort Scott still in really good position here.
Back to receive the kick for the Tigers, number 4, Brody Gomez. Kicking off for the Chieftains, number 44, Cody Lobb.
So Lobb will kick it off, and just about every one of them has gone over to Trace Metcalf. This one's a little bit shorter, and Metcalf will make the fair catch signal, and will take it right around the 36, maybe the 37 for the Tigers. So that's where they will take over here. But again, trailing by just 4 points. So Fort Scott in a great position right now.
Correction, 37-yard line.
Have another one of their long patented drives here. Retake the lead, and everything's good. We'll see if they can do that here. Lennox will keep it around the right side. He's got some room to run, and he will run over one of the Chieftains, and he gets a nice gain, about 8 yards on the pickup. So a good job by Lennox. It'll bring up second down and short for the Tigers.
Second down and 2 for the Tigers.
Chieftains bit on the fullback dive there, and Lennox had himself and I think Brody out to the near side. It could have gone to either one. Lennox kept it and got 8. Now they'll give it to Ryder Newton, and he got through the first initial wave, picks up the first down,
Carrier number 41,
but
Ryder
that's
Newton.
about it. So they'll place it at the 48, first down and 10 for the Tigers.
Tackle made by number 57, Kale Dye. That's enough for a Tigers first down. First and 10 Tigers from their own 48-yard line.
Lennox keeps the ball himself again, and he will get a few more yards. He'll get it into Tonganoxie territory.
Number 6, Lennox Van.
Down to, well, they'll put it at the 49. So it'll be second down. We'll call it 7.
Kale Dye. Ball's on the Chieftains.
Again, the winner advances to the state quarterfinals next week. If it's the Tigers, it'll either be at Atchison or at home against Lansing. Here's the pitch to the Tigers. He gets shoved out of bounds, but a great run there by Morgan Shaw.
Ball carrier number 5, Morgan Shaw.
As he picks up the first down.
Tackle made by number 14, Owen Schmidt.
Morgan spent some time
Tigers first down.
injured earlier in the season, missed at least one game, I think. He's come back and played pretty well for the Tigers, but he's definitely not as shifty as normal. But still pretty quick and still able to get the first down on that previous play. So great job by Morgan Shaw and the Tigers. Keep matriculating that ball down the field. Handoff goes to Gomez. He's in the, he gets pulled down from behind, but a nice gain on the play for Brody. 3, maybe 4 on the play.
Ball carrier number 4, Brody Gomez.
Next snap will be under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter, and the Tigers still trail by just 4. They did lead by 10 at half, 22-12. A couple of quick scores here by Tonganoxie in the third quarter, but Fort Scott right where they want to be, I think. Sands the lead. They would love to be up 26-22 right now instead of down, but they've got the ball and they're moving it against this Tonganoxie defense. We got a whistle. And they're going to say delay of game on the Tigers, so tough luck there for Fort Scott. So that'll push them back 5.
5-yard penalty to back the Tigers up to the 42-yard line. Second and 12 for the Tigers.
Some fresh guys into the game here for the second down and 12. Fort Scott now down to 3 seconds on the play clock. They got to get it snapped. They do. Lennox will roll to his right and gets away from one guy, throws it down the field, and was it caught or dropped? I couldn't quite tell. I think maybe incomplete.
Number 9, Marbury.
Ty was there but couldn't quite come away with the catch, so it'll be 3rd down and 12 now for the Tigers with 4:24 to play in the third quarter.
3rd down and 12.
Again, either team here tonight that wins will either travel to Atchison if they beat Lansing, and if Lansing beats Atchison, the winner of tonight's game here will host next week. Lansing the 8 seed, Atchison the 1 seed on the East. These two teams the 4 and 5. Here's the snap, and somebody missed the block as they will get Lennox taken down in the backfield, and Tonganoxie has had control of this entire third quarter to this point. Another punt coming up for the Tigers here. 4th down and long again. We'll see if they can get it off. Learned from last week's game for Tonganoxie. You don't want to give them a short field too many times. Schlegel did that many times last week and paid the price for it.
Number 14, Owen Smith.
See what the Tigers can do here. Another high snap. Fort Scott does get it away, though, and it will angle towards the sideline. This one may have gone out inside the 20 again. We'll see where they mark it. 3:41 to go here in the third quarter. The Tigers give it back over to Tonganoxie. They lead it 26-22. Again, 3:41 to play in the third quarter. The Tigers trailing by 4, but we'll see what they can do on defense here. Again, when they've had Tonganoxie backed up, the only way they've been able to get down the field to score was to get it to Todd Brown and use his speed. We'll see what the Tigers can do here on defense as they made some adjustments, made some good adjustments, played really well in that second quarter. Here's a handoff, goes to Hand, and he will get around the right side and pick up 7, maybe 8 on the play. So it'll be 2nd and short coming up for the Chieftains.
Number 52, Wesley Cox.
Handoff again goes to Hand. He'll go to the right side and gets taken down. He did get the first down, though. So they'll move the chains. And again, the Chieftains have been better with the chunk yardage in this one, and we've seen that kind of bear out over the last couple of games as well. Handoff again goes to Hand. And he will get 3 or 4 more right up the middle.
Ball carrier again, number 22, Tanner Hand. Tackle made by number 44, Jason Gross. 2nd down and 6 for the Chieftains.
So 2nd and 6 coming up for Tonganoxie. Handoff goes to Hand again. They're trying to string him out. Actually, this is their backup tailback in there now. Brady Martin, and he will get a few yards, but there's a flag down. We'll check that.
Brady Gomez, flag on the play.
And it looks like it may be on the Chieftains. I don't think we've seen, here we go, legal block in the back on Tonganoxie, so they'll push him back. 2:09 to play in the third quarter. See if Fort Scott can take advantage of this penalty. If you remember last year, basketball season, the Tigers ended the Tonganoxie boys basketball season at the Tiger Dome in the first round of Sub-State last year. Hoping to do the same to their football team tonight, but we got a ways to go. Here's a pass down the middle of the field. He's got a couple of guys, and it's incomplete. Dropped on the near side here by Jacob Morenz. Wonder if he thought that ball was going to Hand. Hand was right next to him in the route.
It's 3rd down and 16 for the Chieftains.
So 3rd down and 16. And again, the only real deep plays that Tonganoxie has done or has succeeded on tonight have been to Todd Brown. So that time they tried to go to Marin's and didn't quite work out. It was right there, just didn't make the catch. And now it's 3rd down and long. And they're going to reset the play clock here. Man goes in motion. Langford is by himself in the backfield. Tigers trying to work on a blitz. A flag comes in. The ball is dropped again, incomplete. We'll check what the flag is for. If it's on Tonganoxie, you might see the Tigers decline this and force a 4th down. Check and make sure. It's kind of in the area of holding. Oh, illegal shift. No, it is holding. Then the Tigers will decline it. That's what he was motioning. So 1:47 to go, and the Tigers force another 4th down here and another punt by Tonganoxie, something they haven't done a whole lot of the last couple of weeks, but something they've done a couple of times now here tonight. We'll see if the Tigers can get some momentum here.
Back to punt for the Chieftains, number 4, Callan Langford.
And it looks like Lennox going to take the kick here, and he's got it through a hole. He's to the 40. He will take it down inside the 40 to the 35. What a return by Lennox Van. That's the first time he's returned a kick this year for the Tigers. So in there to do that, and he makes a nice return on it. Got through a couple of guys early in that return and made a nice move on this near sideline to stay in bounds and get it down to the 36. So the Tigers will have great field position with 1:37 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Still trail by 4, but still plenty of time here as we're still in the 3rd quarter for the Tigers to get things back on top. Lennox keeps it to the left side and gets a couple, but that's about it. So 2nd down and about 8 coming up.
Second down and 8.
Levi saw a score from Lawrence. I don't know if I said this when I first saw it earlier, but it looks like the Kansas Jayhawks have defeated the North Carolina Tar Heels at Allen Fieldhouse. First time that those two storied programs have played at Allen Fieldhouse in basketball. I know KU's football team has hosted Duke in the past couple of years. I don't know if they've hosted North Carolina or not, but here's a handoff, goes to Colton Rogers. He kind of got bent up on there. Gain of a yard, maybe 2. But it'll be 3rd down and about mid-range here for the Tigers. They will have to snap it at least one more time in the 3rd quarter. 48 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Excuse me. And about a 14-second difference between that and the play clock. So, again, they will have to snap it at least one more time. 3rd down and 7 coming up after the 1-yard gain. Lennox rolls to his left. Steps up. Now trying to get away. Oh, what a block for the Tigers. And he's going to get down the field. Lennox with a big gain to go out of bounds. What a block from Fort Scott.
Ball carrier number 6, Lennox.
And you hope that defensive lineman is okay as he got rocked. Tucker McGuire. And you wonder, I can imagine the opposite sideline saying, that was an illegal blindside block. I don't know that it was. It was close, but either way, what a hit for Fort Scott, and that sprung Lennox as he will get the 1st down inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. I will say this for Coach Preston Troyer. He is not freaking out the way we've seen other coaches this year. I can't remember his name, but the head coach for Circle was thrown out after he disagreed with what he thought should have been a penalty on the Tigers. And then Coach Latimer at Pittsburgh had a long argument with the officiating crew in that game after what he thought was a late hit by Lennox Van. So again, Preston Troyer, great sportsmanship by Coach Troyer. I would imagine he probably disagreed with that. It looked close just from my naked eye.
From the Chieftains 18-yard line.
But he didn't rant and rave and give the Tigers more yardage. Here's a pitch to Brody. He's going to get through the initial wave and gets close to a first down, I think. He's going to get down to about the 10. He needed, I think, the 8 for the first down marker.
Tackle made by number 78, Jackson Dominic.
And that will end the third quarter. So Fort Scott will switch sides and head to the fourth quarter in just a few moments. The Tigers trail this one 26-22, but they are deep in Tongi field position here. Thanks for watching Tiger Football on Duckbait TV. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact her by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. So the final 12 minutes of regulation put up on the scoreboard. I'd like to send a shout out to everybody watching tonight on Duckbait TV. I was told earlier we got about 250 folks watching, or 250 devices watching. Most likely more people than that watching, and that's awesome. We love to be able to bring these games to you, and it's fun for us to come out and cover them as well. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we got a great fourth quarter coming up for you here tonight. Now, Tongi has gone to overtime twice. Hopefully we don't have to go that far tonight, but the Tigers trying to keep this drive alive. And Lennox will go to the left and score! Touchdown, Fort Scott Tigers! Touchdown, Lennox fan, and the Tigers back on top. And we'll see what the Tigers want to do. It looks like they're going to go for 2 again. Again, they've had some struggles with the kicking extra points this year. There's 27% of those made. But a converted kick here would make it a 3-point game. Here's a run by Lennox to the left, and he's going to get taken down in the backfield. So they lose a couple yards on that one and don't get the 2-point conversion here, but they still lead it 28-26 with 11:57 to go here in this one tonight.
Everybody up for the kickoff. Kicking off for the Tigers, number 76, Jacob Adams.
And another short kick here for Fort Scott, taken by one of the up guys for Tongi, and they'll get it up to the 50. So that's where they will start with 11:53 to play.
Receiving kick number 10, Elijah Holthouse for the Chieftains. Tackle made by number 35.
And according to Twitter, at halftime, Lansing was leading Atchison 13-0. Again, if Lansing wins, the winner of this game will be at home next week in the quarterfinals. So just to keep that in mind, as we keep going here in this one tonight. Again, a long time in that one. That was a halftime score. Long time left in this one, too, as the Tigers lead Tongi now by 2 points. Here's a handoff, goes to Hand, and he will take it up to about the 45 and gets – blow the whistle, guys. They let those whistle. They let it go on a long time, and I understand to a point because you don't want to call a guy down if he's not down, but – that sure opens yourself up for a whole lot of injuries when you've got a guy stood up and somebody else tries to come in and take him down. So wish that they would blow that whistle a little bit quicker. Here's a handoff, goes to Hand again around the left side. I think he's going to get the first down. He needed the 40, and that's right about where they're going to mark him here.
Ball carrier number 22, Tanner Hand. Tackle made by number 41, Ryder Newton. 1st and 10, Chieftains.
Handoff goes to Hand again. He'll go around the left side and gets another pretty good chunk there, another about 5 yards.
Carrier number 22, Tanner Hand. Tackle made by number 73, Luke Harris. 2nd down and 5 for the
Luke Harris with another tackle for the Tigers there. One of Fort Scott's leading tacklers here this season, and handoff again to the backup Brady Martin, and he's going to get a few yards. Actually, he's going to fall forward. It'll be 3rd down and a yard coming up for Tonganoxie here. And again, the Tigers trying to run some subs on there. Got to do it quick. As Tongi likes to go quick, they get the first down there. They needed 1, got about 5. Couldn't tell if that was Hand again or
number 12.
Nope, that's Brady Martin. And again, I keep saying backup and starter. It's not. It's more running RB1 and RB1B for Tonganoxie. At least that's kind of how they're using him, how they've used him the last few weeks. Tanner Hand gets the carry there, and he will get a yard, but that's maybe 2. But he's taken down by J.C. Gross. And J.C. is the leading tackler for the Tigers coming into action here tonight. 66 tackles for J.C. Gross coming into tonight. He's had a few more here this evening as well. Handoff goes back to Hand, and he will try to snake his way through the line. He gets hit and stood up and pushed back. We'll see where they mark him.
Carrier number 22, Tanner Hand. Tackle made by number 87,
this game bearing out like you would expect between the 4 seed and the 5 seed, 2 teams that were 6 and 3 coming into this one here tonight. Tigers seem to have the advantage in the rain. Tonganoxie has had the advantage before the rain got here, and since the rain stopped, there's another run by the quarterback this time, Langford. He's going to get down to about the 5. I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek, as both offenses have played really well. Both defenses have had trouble stopping the other team's offense. They'll string him out here, and again, that's Martin with the carry. I think he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it.
Number 3, Trace Metcalf on the tackle.
Metcalf able to get the tackle there, and they marked him down inbounds. The clock's still running here. Down to 8:14 and counting. This may be okay for the Tigers if Tongi scores here. This game is shaping up to where it almost looks like the team that has it last is going to win. We'll see if that actually bears itself out here or not. Or maybe more accurately, the team that scores last is going to win. We saw that last year with Chanute here at Prairie Field. Another handoff goes to Hand, and he will get in the end zone for Tonganoxie. So a touchdown for the Chieftains here with 7:40 to play in the 4th quarter, and that'll push their score up to 32. They now lead it by 4 again, 32-28. And it looks like they're going to attempt another kick here. And again, their kicker's only missed 1 all year, but that was the first one tonight. Now they're going to pull him back off to try to make this a 6-point game here. Going for 2. And this is, if it works, it's a smart decision because then you go up by a touchdown here over the Tigers. Handoff goes to Hand, and he will get in, I think. Yeah, so now they lead it by 6, 34-28 with 7:40 to play.
Ball carrier number 22, Tanner Hand. Your score, Tigers 28, Chieftains 34.
But again, still plenty of time for the Tigers here.
Back to receive for the Tigers, number 4, Brody Gomez. Kicking off for the Chieftains, number 44, Cody Lobb.
So Lobb to kick off again, and they've been lobbing those kickoffs pretty much the entire game. And another fair catch called for and taken by Trace Metcalf. This one a little bit deeper. He'll be back to about the 28, maybe the 29. So that's where the Tigers will take over. 7:40 left to play in regulation. Tigers already played a couple of overtime games this season. 2 weeks ago, they won in overtime, 38-37 against Ottawa. That one went to overtime, tied at 31. And then Tongi scored first, got the extra point, went up 38-31. Ottawa scored second on a 4th down play, scored and then went for 2 to try to win it and missed. They also lost by 1 in overtime to open the season at Lewisburg back in week 1. Here's a run by Newton, and he will get
number 41, Ryder Newton on the carry.
a few yards for the Tigers there.
By number 57, Kale Dye. 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers.
Pitch to Gomez. He'll cut back, gets up the field, and gets a nice gain on the play.
Number 4, Brody Gomez.
It'll be 3rd and about 5 coming up for the Tigers.
Tackle made by number 5, Todd Brown. 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers.
And again, if you're Fort Scott, you want to score, but you want to run as much time off the clock as you can. So these long drives, methodical drives. Good thing for the Tigers. Back to pass. Lennox will roll to his right, throws it over there. It is caught and then dropped, I think. So it'll be 4th down. And we'll see, imagine the Tigers will probably punt it here.
Morgan Shaw.
Let's see. And again, Lennox is the punter. But it doesn't look like they're running too many guys out there, so Fort Scott may keep the ball here. And this may be a situation where, and they've got time here, they're probably going to let this run down, and the game clock is not moving, but they're going to let the play clock run all the way down and call their first time out of the second half here. So 6:27 to go, 4th down and 5 coming up for the Tigers. Ball on the 34-yard line, so they've got to get it to the 39 for the first down. So again, 6:27 to go. Fort Scott kind of putting themselves in not necessarily a do-or-die situation here, but Fort Scott trying to keep possession as they will run the offense out. 4 receivers in the formation. Lennox rolls to his left. He's got some pressure there. Now will turn back to his right. Still looking, and then fumbles the ball. And Tonganoxie recovers it at the 21-yard line, maybe the 22
Fumble on the play.
of Fort Scott with 6:17 to play.
Covered by number 25.
So 6:17 to play here in
Number 25, Joel Moreau.
the fourth quarter. And the Tigers turn it over.
First down and 10.
And it'll be first and 10 at the 23-yard line here for Tonganoxie. And we got a whistle here, and timeout is going to be called by Coach Troyer.
Timeout by the Chieftains.
So the Chieftains call a timeout there with 6:16 to play. So handoff goes to Hand, and Fort Scott will string him out, get him down in the backfield. So a loss on the play of 1, maybe 2.
Number 4, Brody Gomez on the tackle. Second down and 12 for the Chieftains.
So second down and long, and Langford's going to keep it himself and run it to his left, and he's going to get slung down, but he got a big gain on the play. It'll be third down and short.
Langford on the run. Tackle made by number 4, Brody Gomez. 3rd and 3 for the Chieftains. Tackle made there by number 3, Trace Metcalf.
So Metcalf with the tackle for the Tigers. Third down, and we'll call it about 2.5 or so for Tonganoxie. They hand it to Hand. He gets taken down in the backfield. What a tackle by Ryder Newton. So fourth down now, and do they attempt a field goal? They could. They've got a really good kicker. It's on the left hash, and they may run this down and call a timeout and attempt a field goal. He made a, 31-yarder last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. No, looks like they're going to try to go for it here. Fourth down. At least they're going to line up that way, and they're going to try to throw it into the near side, and it is dropped! Fort Scott takes over on downs! 4:13 to play in the game.
Pass by Langford falls incomplete.
Kind of an interesting situation there. You go for the field goal,
Tigers will take
and you
over.
make it, it becomes a 9-point game. But you missed the fourth down there. Maybe that's a little bit out of their field goal kicker's range, as that would have been about a 35-yarder or so. I think he would probably be able to make that. But anyway, Fort Scott gets the ball back here. So after Fort Scott turned it over, they turn Tonganoxie over on downs. Lennox runs up the middle, get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. So it's second down and long for the Tigers here. And again, like I said earlier, we may see it come down to whoever has the last possession. Tigers hoping it's them right now. 3:48 and counting to go. Tigers may need to get some chunks here, though, to get down the field. Lennox to throw down the middle, and it's caught! Ty Marbury with the catch at the 45!
Pass complete from number 9, Todd.
Clock will stop momentarily to reset the chains. They actually put it at the 47. What a gain by the Tigers. Lennox Van to Ty Marbury. Ty maybe doesn't have a lot of quantity in the catching this year and the receiving this year, but he has gotten quantity for sure, or quality for sure, as he's gotten several big-time catches for the Tigers when they've needed it this season. A run by Colton Rogers. He's going to get a few yards up the middle. It'll be second down and about 5.
Tackle made by number 57, Cale Dye.
Not a lot of the receivers for Fort Scott have a lot of quantity when it comes to receiving this year. But when they've needed their passing game, they have been able, more times than not, to make big plays. Here's a pitch to Shaw, near side. He comes to the sideline, gets taken down there. The ball was down. It kind of squirted out after Morgan hit the ground, and now he's slow to get up. That's not a good thing to see for the Tigers. It's enough for a Tiger first down, though. So Morgan picks up the first down, and it almost looked like Morgan started slowing up towards the end of that run. He's had a couple of knee issues. He's got a brace on both knees, and you hope that it's just a twinge of something he can get back out there. But anyway, Tigers still with possession. Lennox gets hit there at the line of scrimmage and pulled down. They'll give him a yard on forward progress. Clock down to 2:05 and counting now. Fort Scott's going to have to come up with another chunk here pretty quickly. And again, this is the trick. You don't want to go too fast because you don't want to give a team that scores quickly enough time to score if you happen to score here at the end of regulation. However, you do need to score. So there's 1:40 to play. And the Tigers still at the 42-yard line. And now we got a whistle here and a flag comes in. And what do we have? Legal procedure on the Tigers. So that'll back them up 5. And the biggest unfortunate thing about that is the loss of time, I think at this point, more so than the loss of yardage. Again, a Fort Scott offense, which is not an offense that goes in quick chunks very often, is going to need to start doing some of that here. They still have 2 timeouts left, so they've still got some timeouts here. And 1:31 on the clock. But it's second down and 15 now. Ball at the Tiger 47-yard line. What a game we've had here tonight. Just hope Fort Scott can close it out. Back to pass. Nope, he's going to run to his right. Tries to get through a couple of guys and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So third down and 15 now coming up for the Tigers. Clock still rolling. And now the Tigers will take a timeout with 1:20 to play.
Timeout, Scott.
Oh, 1:20 to go here in this one. Fort Scott trails by 6, 34-28. Long discussion here, an important third down for Fort Scott. And this may be a situation where you call 2 plays. I don't know if Coach Graham is comfortable doing that in this situation, but it's obviously 4-down territory at this point for the Tigers, so you don't have to get all 15 on this particular play. But if you're planning it that way, and we'll just see high snap. Lennox brings it down and will be taken down. Fort Scott really has not had issues with their snapping this season very much at all, but it has jumped up and bit the Tigers at the wrong time a couple of times here tonight. There on a shotgun snap, earlier on a punt snap, and the Tigers will take their final timeout here with a minute 4 to play. And now the Tigers do have to get a first down on this play. And we'll see what they do here. This is not a situation that they're used to being in this season. 4th down, and we'll call it 20, maybe 21. 4th and long here for the Tigers. Yeah, maybe 4th and 19. Ball's on the 49. On their own side of the field. They got to get to the Tonganoxie 32. Lennox under center. Back to pass. And he's going to get sacked. And that will most likely do it here tonight for the Tigers. So with 59 seconds left, the ball turns over on downs. And again, the Tigers have no timeout, so Tongi is going to go to victory formation. He'll just take a couple of knees here. And at last look, they will be at home next week against Lansing. Tough way to wrap up the season for the Tigers. Tough way to wrap up a great season. As Tongi will kneel for the final time, and a team that went to the semifinals a year ago could be on their way back to the semifinals this season. Clock goes down to 0, and that's it here tonight as the Tigers fall in this one 34-28. But what a great effort for Fort Scott as they come up just a little bit short against Tonganoxie. And we've known the last few years the Frontier League has been a little bit better, just a little bit better than the SEK, and we see that here tonight again bear out as Tonganoxie able to get the plays when they needed. Fort Scott unfortunately couldn't get it late. Had a couple of opportunities at the end of this game, but just couldn't get down the field enough. And again, like I said, a tough way to end a great season for the Tigers. They'll finish 6-4 overall. And denied a chance at making it to the quarterfinals for another year here. So we'll take a quick break and come back and wrap things up. Tigers fall here tonight. Final score 34-28 to the Tonganoxie Chieftains. If you need residential, interior, or exterior painting done, or your cabinets refinished, contact the folks at Aura et Labora Painting Company, LLC. Fort Scott native Josh Regan is ready to help you with your project, so give them a call at 620-288-6617. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. If you're in need of livestock risk protection, multi-peril crop insurance, or help with your pasture or private products, Caleb Simpson has you covered. Call or text Caleb with Twin Pine Solutions at 620-215-4144. Patty West and Crystal Cowan are a mother-daughter duo selling personal and commercial insurance. If you need home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, business, or commercial insurance, they've got you covered. Visit them at 3 East Wall Street in downtown Fort Scott or call 620-223-0700. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. If you're in need of livestock risk protection, multi-peril crop insurance, or help with your pasture or private products, Caleb Simpson has you covered. Call or text Caleb with Twin Pine Solutions at 620-215-4144. Need a full mani-pedi before big weekend plans? Or maybe you want some special nail art to celebrate your favorite singer's football-playing boyfriend. Either way, Delyn Abatey is ready to help. Nails by Delyn is on all the socials, and you can call or text at 620-704-1315. Nails by Delyn at Spoiled Brat on 3rd Street in downtown Fort Scott. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact her by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. Well, we'll try to wrap things up fairly quickly here as we've got to dry some things off before we get put back in the case tonight. But a tough one here tonight for the Tigers as they lose. Final score 34-28. A whale of a ball game for Fort Scott tonight as they played so well, just couldn't get the last possession down the field well enough and get that last score to win the game. And also the beginning of the third quarter really hurt Fort Scott, as it turns out, because, again, the Tigers led by 10 at halftime, 22-12. And Tonganoxie was able to score 2 touchdowns in that first 5 minutes or so of the third quarter and really kind of turn this game around for them too. So tough luck there for the Tigers as they fall tonight. And but again, a great season for Fort Scott and for all their seniors and their coaching staff and everybody. It's been a great season, and it's been a lot of fun for us to cover them and get to do this again. So a huge shout out and thanks to all of our sponsors, all the viewers. We had nearly 300 viewers tonight, or at least 300 devices at least anyway. Probably more viewers than that. But it's been incredible, the support that we've gotten. So huge thanks to all of our sponsors here at Duckbait TV and all of the viewers for watching. I know a lot of folks are watching from a lot of different places as well, not just here in the Fort Scott, Southeast Kansas area. So again, thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks for tuning in this season. It's been a great year for us, and we're looking forward to basketball season. Just chatted with Brody Gomez's dad again, and we're looking at the winter schedule. We're going to do as many basketball games as we can for sure. Also looking at the wrestling schedule. I have done wrestling in the past. I don't know if it'll work out this year or not, but looking forward to see what we might be able to work out in that realm as well. We were able to do nearly 20 volleyball matches for the volleyball team this year, so that was great. We didn't do the full season, but we did about 20 matches. So we're expanding our coverage and doing a great job, and all to the help and support of you folks for watching us, and for our sponsors for helping us out monetarily as well. So again, a huge thanks to everybody for tuning in and for helping us out this season, as it's been great. Basketball season starts with the Paola tournament on December the 10th. So we've got nearly a month before basketball gets underway, almost exactly a month before basketball gets underway on Tuesday, December 10th, as Fort Scott will be at the Paola tournament again. I'm assuming I haven't I looked at the schedule the other night, but I can't remember. I assume it'll be Wellsville and the other team that's been there that I can't think of now. I just went blank. But anyway, again, we're looking forward to that. And we're also trying to see if we can work out a couple of wrestling dates as well. It's hard to do the big tournaments for wrestling because you've got a lot of different things going on, a lot of different places, but I know there's a couple of dual matches that might work if we can pull those off. So again, we're looking at that and to see what we can do, because obviously not everybody plays basketball. So we've got some kids that wrestle as well, and would like to support them too. So we'll see how that works for this winter. And again, stay tuned to our Facebook page. We'll have posts on there and things of what we're doing this winter as far as the schedule goes. So again, a huge thanks to everybody for helping us out and getting us going this year. But again, a tough one tonight as the Fort Scott Tigers lose and wrap up their season with the loss here tonight. 34-28 the final score as Tonganoxie scores with about 8 minutes left to go up by 6. And Fort Scott had a couple possessions there at the end of the game, but couldn't get down the field enough to get the final score there to win it. So again, tough luck for the Tigers tonight. But again, a huge shout out and congratulations to these players, to the seniors that have worked so hard and done so many amazing things for this team over the last 4 years. And also the coaching staff, Coach Graham, doing another great job with these guys. And again, we look forward to next football season. See how the things go for that. But again, like I said, we'll have basketball coming up and everything else this winter and spring too. But anyway, thanks again for joining us here tonight. Again, we know you have many options when watching the Fort Scott Tigers and Lady Tigers play, but we thank you for joining us tonight on Duckbait TV. For my dad on the camera tonight, Willie Abady, again, a huge thanks to him for helping me out this season. It's always fun to what makes the Tuesday night trips to Independence and Coffeyville better is the fact that I get to share that time with my dad. So that's a fun thing. So I really enjoy having him take time out of his busy retirement to help me out with these games. But anyway, thanks to him for doing that. And huge thanks to all of the Duckbaits back home, my family, my wife, my kids, for letting me have these nights away from them to bring you these games. And again, thanks for everybody out there watching this. And yes, my mother for babysitting the kids when we've needed her too. So a huge thanks to everybody there for helping us out. And again, a huge shout out to everybody tuning in, all of our sponsors for helping us out. Again, we had nearly 300 viewers at one point tonight. So again, thank you so much for doing that. And it's been a lot of fun. So we'll see you for basketball season coming up on Tuesday, December 10th at the Paola Tournament. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Good night, Kansas.